Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today, this one's going to be doing a review for The Last of Us, this one's going to be doing a discussion video for today. We're going to be talking about some words that Neil Druckmann just shared about The Last of Us and the brand going forward, and obviously upcoming things you can expect from The Last of Us. It's sounding like, in particular, the video game. So he said, apparently, this is recently, he said that he will let you know when he has more updates for The Last of Us, and there will be more things to share, and when that time happens, there will be big things that happen. So, obviously, you know, is that him kind of trying to tell people that The Last of Us Part 3 is happening? Probably, you know what I'm saying? Probably, that's probably where we're at with this whole situation. I'm kind of at a point with The Last of Us where I'm just like, listen, if you're going to do a third game, like I said, make it good is my first big request, you know? But my main thing is with this is like, make sure that you're doing this because there's a story here. Don't do it because your fans are telling you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know there's a lot of Last of Us people out there that, you know, they want to see more. They're not happy with, you know, part 2 being the ending. They're saying that there is more for them to do. I'm at a point where when I look at The Last of Us, when I look at the way that part 2 ended, look, is it the ideal ending for Ellie's character that I would, you know, write? Not really. You know, sometimes I like to kind of convince myself that part 1 is the only canon game, and that Joel and Ellie just live perfectly fine, you know, in Jackson, and that's just what happens, and part 2 is some fanfic that, you know, went wrong in the lab, you know what I'm saying? But again, like, you know, that's obviously just interpretation. The reality of the situation is, that is where The Last of Us left us, is where, you know, Ellie is, you know, just sitting there, playing the guitar, missing fingers, and her family left her, and she's all alone. Now, again, I like the tragedy of the way they ended the game. I do like that element of it. That's why I do give the ending somewhat credit. But it is one of those things where, I'm going to be honest, I could take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I could take it or leave it is because, to me, it's a bleak ending to a bleak story. The Last of Us is not a happy story. You know what I'm saying? It's not one of those stories where you can sit there and say, oh my god, like, such a happy ending. You know, like, no, the reality is, Ellie betrayed her family, went against what happened, they left her because she went to kill Abby, and she fucked up and didn't kill Abby. I could go into an entire rant about that, but I won't. You know, but point being, that is where the game ended. Is there room for another game? Is there room for more of an Ellie story? You know what I mean? Will it even be an Ellie story is the question. Now, the way they're focusing on it and some of the stuff and the imagery and the stuff that I've seen, it sounds like it will be a Ellie game, you know, in some way, shape, or form. It probably will be an Ellie game. So, thing is with me with an Ellie game is that it's got to be told correctly. I don't want them to kill her off. That's the biggest thing that I would say about them making a third game. And if there's any way that this word of mouth spreads around, Neil, I'm telling you, if your idea for the third game is to bring Ellie back to kill her, don't fucking do the game. I'm telling you right now. Do not do the game. You will ruin your franchise even more than you already have with the death of Joel and the way it happened and the way that you pushed Abby on people. There's a lot of people that don't like that game. There's a lot of people that do these days, and they've come around on it, and that's fine. But I personally don't think the game was the right thing for the franchise. I think if they were going to kill Joel off, they should have done it in a better manner, and they should have done it in a way that was more respectful to the character. Because I do think killing Joel off, to a degree, was a proper thing to do if you did it in a more proper way. However, they didn't do that, and they handled his death in a really bad way, and they introduced a character that sucked in return, so it didn't really work in their benefit, you know what I'm saying? So when I'm thinking about him saying, like, okay, maybe we'll do a part 3, I'm like, well, thing is, Last of Us Part 3, the biggest thing I'd say about it is that if you're gonna do it, you gotta make sure the story is good. If you kill Ellie off, or if there's anything in the scripts about killing Ellie off, I don't want to fucking see it. I don't want to see it. And that's my message to Neil, is if it's a good Ellie story where she survives, maybe finds her family again, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we get some kind of drama from there. Maybe there is something you can do there, you know what I'm saying? Ellie out there looking for her family. There's definitely something you could do there. I don't disregard that. And I think you could tell an alright story if you do that. But the thing is, you gotta make sure that it's not a story about killing Ellie off. I don't trust this writer anymore. I don't. And I will say, if you kill Ellie off, you've officially killed that brand. So if that's your plan, I would rather Ellie just stay alive with the tragic ending that she gets, and that's that. You know what I mean? if you actually have something creative in mind, and something that is beneficial to Ellie's character and you want to continue that, then listen, I'm down with it. You just got to make sure, for two things, you don't kill her off. Also, you don't make her and Abby friends, okay? That is another thing I don't want to see. I don't want to see them as friends. I don't want to see anything like that. That would ruin it for me, and that would not be fun to watch. And, you know, again, you didn't kill Abby off, so why would you kill her all of a sudden in the third game and Ellie just changes her mind? I guess maybe you could say that it's a, you know, in return for her family leaving her, she realizes in the end that she does want to kill her. Listen, if she kills Abby, I'm not going to complain, because honestly, it's what she should have done in the first place. However, again, you know, I think the story has missed its mark now for them to do that, in my opinion, you know? So, again, my idea with this of Neil saying, like, oh, you know, we might get something, listen, I'm all good with a part 3 as long as it's good. That's my thing. But if it's led by Abby, I don't want it. If you kill Ellie, I don't want it. And if it's a Joel and Tommy prequel series or, like, you know, story, you could do it, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the safer option. But at the same time, would you even call it The Last of Us, or would you just call it some kind of spinoff with the two of them? Some offshoot thing that isn't The Last of Us, you know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm kind of not sure 100%, but we'll see. That's where I'm at. Neil, if you announce something, please make it good. And if it is a third game, I hope it's something enjoyable. I hope it's not something that's going to put your company in the ground even more and get more people to leave than they did in the first. And, well, the first game was amazing. The second game was really bad, and they didn't know how to tell the story correctly. Yeah, the graphics were good. Yeah, the, you know, this and this was good. There were good moments. But the overall message that the game was trying to provide, the second game, was not accomplished at all. And I don't think they accomplished it whatsoever, and I think that's definitely a problem. So if they're going to do a third game, it better be better than the second game. That's all I'm saying. So, if you're new to the channel, guys, and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos. Make sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies hit a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.